Welcome to Two Old Ladies That Bet, the show where strategic data-driven predictions meet the thrill of the game, proving that with the right analysis, victory is more than just chance.
Hey, Two Old Ladies That Bet fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all of your sports books and track all of your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect those bonus offers. Follow them on @WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to the App Store now or Play Store and search WagerWire and download the app.
I'm Mindy, and this is my sister, Tiffany. I'm the white sheep of the family.
True story.
But you guys, welcome. We always like to make sports betting fun and easy, so hopefully you find that about us, along the way.
Yep. Today we're talking about the tournament that must remain nameless because of very strict copyright rules.
Oh yeah, I've never heard of this. What is it?
I can't say the month and the craziness, I believe, is what's copyrighted. But it's one of the best times of year. We love March. Oh my God, I'm gonna get booted. We love the tournament. It's just a great time of year for all sports fans. So what do you think? Selection Sunday was yesterday. Were there any surprises? What stood out to you?
Well, nothing of really importance to me. I mean, I kind of feel like the bubble teams that I thought should make it did, so I think the committee did a great job ultimately, because once you hear about the criteria and what they look at with these bubble teams, it's kind of the same thing as our modeling, right? So I take all of the home numbers. Sorry, Iowa State, you're no longer 18-0 at home. Those go and you throw them right out the window, right? And so that's what we're looking at is all away scores. We're looking at all neutral site, all that kind of stuff. And it's going to be talent versus talent. We're going to get it done.
Yep. So for our show today, we'll go a little bit more into that stuff. One of the things that stood out to me as a Husker fan, if you watch the Two Old Ladies That Bet, we're Midwesterners, lifelong Husker fans.
Right.
And there's some controversy because our athletic director recently signed an 8-year contract, I think, and then just was like, nah, deuces, and is now announced that he's going to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Conveniently, who's Nebraska playing?
Oh, yeah. For whatever reason, both the men and the women are playing Texas A&M. How could this even be? I mean, he's not my favorite AD because of what he did to those, the UNO team, the national championship. You can watch the 30 for 30 out there. But yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be pretty cool. Plus, once we went ahead and saw that was the matchup, we went ahead and just plunked them in here to our system. And it came out with, we have 3 models, right? And it came out Huskers, and then it came out Huskers again, and then it came out Huskers again. So that is the very, very first thing that we did is we went ahead and made our first wager, which will be Nebraska on the money line minus 122.
All right, I like it. We're always excited for Huskers.
We don't always get to
GBR.
We don't always get to wager on our favorite team. So when we get to, it's pretty exciting.
And we think what are they 0-9 in the tournament? So
yeah,
we're really hoping this is the year.
Right.
They got a little revenge, a little reason to play a little harder.
They've never won a tourney game at all, ever, never. This is the year.
Yeah, I know. I'm really excited about these games.
Right.
Yeah, so for today's show, we'll keep going with a little bit of stuff like that. We're going to do some upsets. We're going to do some locks. We also did some descriptive statistics, just because we've all been in an office pool, and that person that wins knows absolutely nothing about basketball. And I don't know if you should laugh at that or if you should be mad.
Well, I just remember the time where our cousin, Michelle, she went ahead and picked everything by the color of the uniform.
Yep. And so now I can tell you that there's a 64% chance that championship team is going to have blue in their uniform.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? You got like the Kentucky Duke, Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go blue and white. All right.
Arizona has some blue.
Oh, there you go.
Blue. Yeah, so
right.
we'll have a little bit of fun with that too. but we probably get to it. We're gonna talk locks first.
Yeah, let's just get the locks out of the way, right? Because I don't know, it's been kind of interesting over the last, 5 to 8 years. There's been a one or two that gets knocked off early, and you know who they are. It's Arizona, it's Purdue, it's Virginia. But you guys, it's not going to be this year. I'm telling you that right now. So don't get excited. No one or two is going to be losing in the first round. I mean, look, Purdue, not going to happen. They're playing against a team here with 198th in defensive efficiency. Arizona, they are not going to lose to Long Beach State. Look at, they're 210th in defensive efficiencies. These guys are not going to be able to keep up with a team like Purdue and Arizona putting up the big points. That is for sure. Another couple locks that I think are actually these kind of play-in games, right? I don't think Howard is going to lose to Wagner. Wagner is, okay, how should I say how bad they are? Like, there's 368 teams in NCAA Division I. They rank 334th offensively. I don't think they're going to take out Howard. It's the same thing. Montana State is playing against a Grambling school that's 297th in offensive efficiency. Neither one of those teams can score, you guys. I really like Howard. I really like Montana State.
I like those too. On your second one, I also did some research for people who want to pick alphabetically.
Oh, yeah.
So this one is pretty deep. But what I found is there really is a strange pattern that it in the first round it alternates. So last year, if you would have just picked all of the first round by alphabetical, like A over B, you would have hit at like 65%. But the year before that, it would have been 25%. So it like alternates. So we're on a year that's going to be descending. So
Yeah.
Z to A.
So when you zig, we zag.
Yes.
Right.
So you gotta go backwards this year. So
Well, we'll put that to the test here when it comes to a lot of the stuff. How about that?
yeah. So we could get going with our upsets. So one of the famous things everybody always talks about is that 5 over 12 upset. I'm not really sure how that got into pop culture,
Right.
but I think everybody who watches basketball knows about it. We got our picks on some 5 versus 12, but what we actually found is it's that 6-11 game. It actually is more statistically possible. So you want to look at you got some 6. What
Should we start with the 6 versus 11?
6 teams gonna beat an 11 team this year.
All right. Well, here's what I got for the 6 versus 11. Now, I went through everything in the first round, but this is the one that stood out. It's going to be New Mexico over Clemson. That is my prediction or my upset alert. New Mexico, they're 52nd in offensive efficiency versus a Clemson team that's 178th in defensive efficiency. So again, all you need to have is a Clemson team that's just a little bit off versus a New Mexico team that can really put up the points. So I like New Mexico.
And it also follows my descending order winner.
It does, doesn't it? It does. New Mexico in descending order is larger than the C for Clemson. Oh my goodness.
Yes,
That's true.
I know.
Okay.
I'm like, these are very, very
High level.
deeply researched stats. Like, that's a house. So what about that 5 versus 12?
Oh, yeah.
The one that, everybody looks at their bracket and they go right to that game. They're like, I'm just going to pick all the 12s because one of them's going to win.
Well, I mean, I think we have maybe a couple bracket busters. I think the most obvious for me is going to be James Madison over Wisconsin. So I took Nebraska on the money line, right? This one here, I'm going to take James Madison. This will be an actual play, right? A +5 for James Madison. They are 11th in offensive efficiency. Now, these are all visitor numbers, right? Versus Wisconsin, who is 237th on road efficiency defense. So you have a number 11 versus a number 237. So I like James Madison and their chances to upset. Then the next one is going to be this thing that I saw on WagerWire, you guys. This is why you need to go check it out, right? To see if there's, something fishy going on. There was a player or a person that went ahead and put 100 smacks on McNeese State to win the tourney for like 150 grand. So check it out. Go to WagerWire on X. And
McNeese, I think they're hovering around keeping this one a 1-2 point game. And it's that same reason. McNeese State right now, they're 20th on road efficiency on offense. That's pretty darn good. 20th in the nation. Now Gonzaga is pretty good themselves, but I think this is going to be an interesting spot here for a McNeese to at least pull off this initial 5-12 upset. All right.
I like it. And again, descending order.
Oh, geez. That again? M versus G winner. All right.
Yeah. So what else you got for me today?
Well,
So
I'll just continue with that one because here's what I think is interesting. Let's just say that McNeese gets that game. Okay. It's then the 4 versus 13. It's Samford versus Kansas. Okay. And I know what you guys are saying, but it's Kansas. They were a Final Four team all the time. But Kansas has just been awful. So they're missing a couple players, right? Samford right now is 26th in offensive efficiency. And then now suddenly you have a Kansas team that really gets whooped up on in the Big 12 championship versus Houston. They lose by like over 20. Kansas right now can't hit the broadside of a barn. They are averaging 62 points of offense. And right now they're 134th in offensive efficiency. They're just not playing well anywhere. So wouldn't that be crazy if you had a number 13 Samford playing against a number 12 McNeese? That would be amazing, you guys. Amazing.
Talk about a bracket buster. We love it.
I like it. Yeah. And then here we got one more. And it's going to be our kind of other close team to us, Drake. So Drake's in Des Moines, Iowa. I like Drake, the number 10, to maybe take out that number 7 Washington State team. Again, it's Washington State, terrible defensive efficiency, sitting at number 199 versus a Drake team, 25th in offensive efficiency. That's another one I'd give a pretty good chance to.
Yeah.
Let's just say
and
that.
7 versus 10, there's a 60.81% chance of that 10 beating that 7.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So bracket, where are you gonna put your bracket someplace?
Yeah. So again, this is another reason to follow WagerWire, you guys, because they're doing a totally free bracket and it has a cash prize involved, which I always love because I love to win things and play contests. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and enter into the WagerWire bracket challenge and make sure you guys do too. Because once they go live, you can see what we put out there and how it goes and what our picks look like. We usually do terrible, just so you guys know.
I
That's where we're used to picking the spread. You would think it would be easy, but it's
I'm
not.
going to put out some brackets probably on X. I still want to say Twitter because I'm old. And I've got, because of my descriptive statistics, I'm going to do one with my alphabetical. And I'm also going to do one which is very exciting. It's going to be which mascot would win in a fight.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
if we think about the Huskers, I mean, a Cornhusker versus a...
Are they playing against like a poor collie? The Aggie?
I don't know.
What if I remember is the dog.
Aggie. I think it's a dog.
Is the Aggie the person that has the dog?
I don't know. Like, maybe we should look that up before we make a decisive determination.
But those Huskers, the corn detasselers, those former bug eaters,
that's some hard work.
Yeah, they're pretty tough. That's for sure. But you guys, it's going to be interesting what your strategy is. A lot of the times, statistics says maybe stay away from some of those mid-majors, making it far into the tournament. You can also maybe look at number 1s and number 2s usually make it to the Final Four. I mean, it's just the way that it is. It's structured that way where the best teams make it to the end. So that's something that you always got to keep in mind, even though we know that upsets occur.
Yep. And in these big games, there's a little extra adrenaline, a little extra push, a little extra desire to win, and anybody can beat on any given day.
That is for sure. But you guys, hey, thanks for hanging out a little bit with us. We will be back here once a week as we get through the mess of this tournament. So make sure you come back and set your reminders. Also, make sure you go ahead and download the WagerWire app so you can catch that. Also, go ahead and get into our contest. It's going to be so much fun, you guys. Just make sure you do that.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for watching.
All right, you guys. Hey, we will catch you later.